Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the film retrospective, where we now actually would analyze and also we would also would discuss and our opinions and explain about these films. And so how the film is going to include and which is I'm going to be talking about today is Posse Cat. After the events from Texas Tom, when Tom runs away from Texas, he then lands up into La Salle Mountains, where he's now owned by now a cowboy with a person actually which is with an unknown name, and somehow even I don't know his name. So he has a pet owner who's a cowboy, and meanwhile he's busy making his food, and meanwhile Jerry keeps on stealing actually his food that whenever he makes. Rings the bell to even to call Tom for lunch. When Tom actually really want to have lunch, the cowboy actually tells him not to have lunch because that will only would depend only if he tries and keep Jerry away from stealing his food that he makes. So Tom tries to get rid of him out from his house, and so that he would never even think of stealing his food again. And meanwhile, as Tom tries his level best attempt to try and catch Jerry, he just fails. And meanwhile, for accident, Jerry uses a stick and rings the bell, and then Tom realizes that his pet owner called him for lunch, and meanwhile his pet owner says that he will not give him any food only until he catches the mouse, and he keeps trying to even get him out of the house so that he can teach Jerry a lesson. Meanwhile, Jerry tries to frame him by believing that the lunch is that he's going to eat a sandwich, and but meanwhile the sandwich was attached to a bull's tail, and meanwhile when Tom bites it, the bull actually screams and then gets rid of him. And then meanwhile Jerry actually deals with him, giving Tom a deal, saying that to even get the lunch, that he would have to pretend that Jerry is defeated, and somehow Tom even tricks his pet owner by going outside of the house and shooting so many guns outside, and then later his pet owner gives him his lunch that he always wanted. And next, meanwhile, Jerry still wants to actually Tom to try and chase him, but Tom is not going to bother to even chase him because he's busy, he wants to have his lunch. But meanwhile, his lunch gets ruined, and then with so much anger, he uses an iron rod and he tries to even burn Jerry with it. But meanwhile, Jerry runs to his house, and then meanwhile and he opens the door, and Tom actually hits his pet owner on the butt with the iron rod. And next his pet owner starts letting out a very loud scream. I have no answer. Did this pet owner make that scream, or was it William Hanna who put that scream onto him because he thought that actually that's represent actually his pet owner's scream? Well, do not get me wrong though. You see, William Hanna voiced Tom since 1941. He voiced him since Night Before Christmas, all the way till Thought Watchers in 1958, before this 1940 shorts ended. William Hanna actually is responsible for a majority of Tom's screams, which is the trademark scream he makes, which is from T for Two and Springtime for Thomas. And meanwhile, his pen owner uses Tom's scream and makes that scream. You see, in Texas, Tom never used those screams at all. Only he does is he says, "Youch." That's only he said so far. Continues now the chase formula, like how Tom had it back in Texas Tom, because majority of the time Texas Tom actually it's more about Tom is for singing to his girlfriend, which is by the cow girl, which is a cat that he sees in Texas. He wants to try and propose her with a song, but meanwhile Jerry tries to interrupt him by the time, and then when he interrupts, and then he makes Jerry puts the rope on the bull, and next making the bull believe that Tom is trying to pull him, and the bull blames Tom for his actions. However, it still builds up by showing that this story continues after when Tom ran away from Texas, because it wasn't the definitive end that Tom forever ran away from Texas and that now he's treated like a horse. He found someone and somehow someone thought that he was lost, so a cowboy adopted him because he's alone. So, Posse Cat seems to be like a great build-up for Texas Tom, because as a direct sequel, it now clearly makes sense though, because we don't know like what was the prequel to Texas Tom. However, because there have been no stock footage at all, so there's no footage of any other Tom and Jerry shorts that being shown in there, because this took place actually in America, which is in the Wild West. Maybe it could be like this is before America was civilized. That's my what the story is about. Because somehow Tom runs away, and then now he gets adopted by someone, and then later he gets kicked out of the house when he gets being blamed. So, well, this sequel is more funny and more interesting to even boot on. Until such time we meet again, this is Kaizilla signing off. If you enjoyed this video, please sure to like it as well as subscribe to the channel for more content of a similar nature. Also check the description to links to my Twitter page. Thank you all, and I appreciate your support.